Today in the cross-examination, we didn't really get a lot until we got to the 911 call, where we are all here at the studio debating whether or not we heard this "go to hell, you whore," or not. It's crazy. We don't know whether you can hear it as a whisper, whether it's something else. The defense kind of didn't really touch it. So we're curious as to what our viewers are thinking and hearing. Please go to lawandcrime.com, comment on it. We'll be watching it here. I'll be seeing who has the best answers or who are saying they heard it, they didn't hear it. It seems very much like a gold dress, blue dress kind of situation. We want to recap and now listen to some of the 911 calls that was played in this case, and maybe you can hear the "go to hell, you whore," or maybe not, but let's take a listen.
Amy. Amy.
Okay, so what happened that she's not conscious or breathing?
She fell on a fork, and I took out a fork on her. It was an old fork sitting in somewhere, and then she was halfway out of the barn. Like she was calling to get out, and then Tristan yelled, and I ran over there, and she was laying there.
And pulled it out of her.
I couldn't get her out of the barn. The doors were narrow, and she's not responding.
So is she bleeding?
I can't tell. When I seen it, she was face down. She did not respond me. Come on.
Sir, do you feel comfortable doing CPR?
I can try. I'll try anything.
Keep doing the compressions until they can help and take over, okay?
Come on, respond.
The deputies are almost there.
Now, Todd, here I'm gonna play you the part where you're doing the chest compressions, and I'm just gonna ask that you listen in between the chest compressions, okay? Now, Todd, did you just hear that whisper at the end of that?
Yes.
And what did you whisper?
I couldn't hear it.
Okay, I'm gonna play it again. Todd, do you whisper "cheating whore" right there?
No.
So you don't remember what you whispered?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna play another clip for you. Do you know what you whispered there?
No.
Did you hear that? So I'm gonna play that part one more time. The first clip is 6:53 of that second tape, and this second one is right at 0700. Just try to listen really closely. I just wanna know if you remember what you said. Right there, do you say "go to hell, cheating whore"?
No.
So you don't hear that?
No.
You didn't hear at 6:53, "cheating whore"? You didn't hear that?
I didn't hear that word.
And it's right at that, after you hear a ping, you don't hear "go to hell, cheating whore"?
No.
It's very interesting. I'm not sure if it's the more you hear it, the more you think you hear it, or the more you hear it, you don't. I'm joined here in the studio with Paula and Notari, and we also have Ecleynne Mercy via Skype. Ladies, good afternoon. Can you give us some direction? Paula, do you hear it? Do you not hear it? What are we supposed to make of it? Go.
Well, when I first heard it earlier today outside of the studio, I did kind of hear it, but now in replaying it, I don't hear it, which leads me to believe that they should keep this out, that the lawyers should be objecting. I don't know if this was handled pre-trial, if they filed motions to keep this out, if this is the first time the defense is even learning of this theory. But if I were a lawyer, the minute that happened, I would have objected, gone sidebar, and said we need to have an out-of-court hearing. Because if it's so subjective, you can't hear it. It's so prejudicial. It should be kept out.
Ecleynne Mercy, same question. Did you hear it? Did you not hear it? How is the defense supposed to cope with this? What's going on here?
Oh, I heard it. It was heard. Oh my God, it just got real good. I would definitely. So here's the thing. It was in discovery. They had the same access to the same video. And as you know, during trial, things happen. You hear new things. They had access. So during discovery, the defense had the same access to the same video. I'm the same recording. And, you know, I can hear it. I can hear horror. I didn't hear the cheating part. I don't think it's going to win with regards to being kept out because they had access to the same video. I mean, they had access to the same recording. The theory of the prosecution was that, hey, they believe that she was cheating and that because of that, he wanted to kill her. So it goes along with the theory of the state case. So I don't think it's going to stay out. This is a slam dunk. It got real good. This is getting so juicy.
So this would be my question, and maybe it's just the defense attorney in me, and it just kicks in right away. This to me sounds like confirmation bias, and I always, maybe as a former athlete myself, I bring it to sports. If you're watching a football game and your team is playing against your friend's team, and there's a very close call, Paula, and the question is the person's feet in the end zone or not in the end zone? Did it go over the fence? Whatever sport you're listening to. If we like different sports, I'm gonna say, well, my team obviously was in the right, your team is in the right. It's confirmation bias. So if your mind was already towards guilty, maybe this just solidifies it for you. And if your mind is already a not guilty, maybe like you're discrediting it. Is that all it is? Maybe just a prosecutor only sees guilt here, and so she only hears and sees what she wants to see?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, I agree. This case is, I believe that this case is a slam dunk. Everyone is sitting here watching this knows that the husband's guilty. There's no other plausible theory. The defense has not put a plausible theory that there's an alternative suspect, right? So really, I think the defense, and I'm thinking as I'm listening to this, thinking about this trial, that this is heat of passion, manslaughter. This is a guy who was so enraged in that moment. And, you know, if that's the case, then a comments like cheating whore is consistent with that defense. So in terms of the jury listening to, are there jurors at the end of the day that are going to say he didn't do it? I think it's really difficult for a juror to come to that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I agree with the heat of passion, always trying to find mitigation, especially if you can. And I think that most people would agree with that. Like, hey, you've caught her cheating a second time. And also with the point that the defense hasn't really put anything forward. So we're left with different theories that I think are correct in different ways and go different routes. But it's the defense who's got to put that in the mind of the jury. Otherwise, we're just left to speculate. But Ecleynne Mercy, if we are left to speculate, I'm going to give you another theory, because I think the son did it. I think that if this happened the way it went down, there should have been screams, there should have been hollers, someone should have done it. And I think that the son did it, and the father, sorry the pun, is falling on the corn rake for the son and saying, you know what, you're 13, I'm not gonna let you throw your life away. I'm gonna take this blame for you. That could have happened as well.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Even if he did say whore, that could just be, hey, wake up. Like when you're in the stress of trying to save, again, this woman has been impaled by a rake. So the defense can say, hey, all emotions come out. Like, hey, get up, come on. And like, let's go. Like there are ways that you can argue this. I don't think it makes it a slam dunk case. Your theory with regards to the bias, I definitely, as defense, I would definitely cut and paste everything that you just said and tell the jury that. Because again, it's still, that's a fact question. That's up to the jury. Now, I heard whore. I didn't hear cheating. It could have just been his, he's in the process of participating in CPR. So we don't know exactly under what circumstances that is. We need a psychologist to say, is he saying whore? Is he saying whore? Is he saying something else? Like, it's still a jury question. So I don't know. I don't think that it slam dunks it because he's saying cheating whore, but I definitely think that it helps the state. But the defense still has arguments that they can make.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. If the defense does copy and paste my argument, please tweet me, tweet Law&Crime, give us the credit we deserve. We're going to look more as to what the defendant said while on the stand in this next clip.
Todd, when you were doing those chest compressions, if I understand you correctly, you had put Amy somewhat upright in the seat of the pickup, but leaned it back as far as it would go?
Yes.
So she was in a kind of a reclining chair position.
Yes.
And you were holding the phone and doing the compressions at the same time.
Yes.
You knew you were on a recorded line with a 911 operator.
Yes.
Do you believe that you said, whispered, cheating whore or go to hell, cheating whore, while you were doing CPR?
No.
Were you frantic?
I was very excited.
Were you doing everything you could to keep her alive?
Yes.
So it's very interesting. I get it. The defense attorney's got to confront it. He's got to say something. But Paula, in my mind, I've never been in this situation. At best, I've had to give CPR to a soccer player who was knocked out or checked for concussion signs. But I'm not going to remember what was said when I'm trying to fight for my wife's life. I'm like, I don't know. I was giving CPR. I don't remember every word that was said. Isn't that believable?
Right, and I think in truth, I think the real truth is that they focus on these details, innocuous details, and people handle life situations completely differently. I was just watching the other day a news segment on a mother whose child went missing, and it was a very horrible kidnapping, and the mom's affect was so flat that I would think she was involved in the kidnapping when clearly she wasn't. So it's hard to read emotions during difficult situations because people react differently.
Yeah, and even here, Ecleynne, we were talking about this in the studio as to his affect during the entirety of his testimony, both on direct and cross-examination. And people are saying he's not giving enough emotion on this. And I'm saying, hey, what we're doing right now is TV. But you got to remember, for the defendant, he's told this story 100, 1,000 times to his defense attorney. He's been over it over and over and over again. He's lost the emotion. Also, he's a farmer, salt of the earth. Maybe he's not the type of man to show emotion. So maybe that's the way, as Paula's kind of getting to, that's just the way he is. He doesn't show emotion when he's on the stand. Is there an explanation for that?
And another thing, he didn't, just because they were married, so he could have loved her. He cheated. We know that he knew that she cheated. So I love her. I just don't like her. And it's like, I'm still trying to save, the argument for the defense is I'm still trying to save my children's mom. You understand? So I am doing it. So it's a lot of emotion. Remember, he knows that she cheated. It's verifiable. He knows she cheated. She knows he was unfaithful, not once, but a few times. And now potentially his son probably did something to her. Another thing with the 911 recording. Now, he stated that, she fell on the court. But when he found her during the 911 recording, he stated that she was face down. So it actually goes to the state argument that somebody probably, picked her with the rake. So I actually like the theory that the son did it. He is old enough to do it. He was 13 at the time. It was his iPad. So if I was the defense, I would do a old school plan B and kind of maybe hint on the son, but not really say that it's the son. I think that's what's actually happening. I think that he's falling, like you stated, he's falling on the sword for his kid.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting. Well, just the one thing, I think it's the father's iPad, but everyone has access to it. Obviously, the kid's using it a lot as well. We're going to continue to discuss this case. We're going to keep eyes in Iowa to see if the summations are coming up anytime soon. But you've got to come back here to Law and Crime Trial Network for more Gavel to Gavel coverage.